So I'm here barefaced and ready to give you guys this review, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this one. So I literally just jumped out the shower, my hair and everything's wet, and I'm not even feeling to do my hair, so I've just left it in a towel. So I picked up the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% and Zinc 1%. Niacinamide is a water-based vitamin. It's known by 3 names, which is B3, niacinamide and niacin. So niacinamide, although I feel like it's kind of marketed as an active ingredient, isn't an active ingredient. So an active ingredient is an ingredient that's scientifically proven to target a particular condition or problem. And active ingredients are usually marketed with like acne treatment, dermatitis treatment, stuff like that. It will always have like the name of the problem that it's targeting. Because it's not an active ingredient, it means that it's not regulated like other active ingredients. Because of this, you're kind of at the mercy of the company that you're buying the product from, that they have a high quality of that product that they're producing or giving you. However, saying that niacinamide is kind of one of the safest skincare ingredients out there in terms of being tolerated. So the likelihood of you having an allergic reaction from plain niacinamide is very unlikely. So from the research that I've done in the trials, I don't think there's anyone that's had an allergic reaction to niacinamide, which is kind of phenomenal. There's usually like a small percent even if a product is highly tolerated. So in studies, the best results came about when niacinamide was used around 2% or less. This actually has 10% niacinamide, which is a very high percentage, and it also has 1% zinc. Zinc is like a vehicle to help boost the niacinamide, and it maintains the efficacy of niacinamide. I did do some research and found a video of a formulator, and I'll leave her video down below, who kind of explains niacinamide in relation to people of color. So the 1% zinc is actually okay for people of color. There's so many benefits from this one ingredient, which is why I think it's kind of gone viral. But just moving on to what niacinamide is used to treat, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was researching niacinamide to see if I wanted to include this in my skincare routine, there was just so much like information that I just didn't know like if this product was real. Is it true? Is it marketing? Because there's just so much. First of all, niacinamide is good for people of all skin, meaning people with dry, oily, combination, normal skin. And this is because it's a sebum regulator. Sebum is the oil that our skin naturally produces. So if you're someone with really oily skin, niacinamide will regulate that for you, so you're not overproducing oils. And if you're someone with really dry skin, the niacinamide will help you produce more of that oil. I feel like that information is what really had me out of whack, because I'm like, how does it work for people with dry and oily skin? That makes no sense. But people who are acne prone sometimes have issues with their regulating their sebum. Niacinamide is also a humectant, which means that it draws moisture from the atmosphere into your skin, which prevents or helps transepidermal water loss, which is lost through the dermis. You always want your skincare routine to have some type of humectant in there, because throughout the day your skin loses water, which actually affects like your wrinkles on your skin, the youth of your skin. It also evens out your skin tone. So if you are someone with hyperpigmentation or someone who has a lot of like dark spots from acne, niacinamide is a really good ingredient to have. And this is because the niacinamide messes with the melasma, I think it's called, which is the melanin in your skin cells. It messes with how melasma is distributed around the skin scales to reduce dark spots and hyperpigmentation. So that's how it works. It's also good for a range of skin conditions, including rosacea, dermatitis. It's a relatively inexpensive ingredient to have, so it is in a lot of skincare products. So if you already have it in like your moisturizer or skincare product, you don't necessarily need it in, as a serum, because it's kind of too much niacinamide, to be honest, and I'll move on to that in a second. So I'm gonna give my personal experience with the niacinamide. I've been using it for 3 weeks now, and I want you guys to really stay to the end of the video. I know you want to jump and just click off now after the review, but stay till the end of the video, because I do have some points that if you are going to buy the niacinamide, that I feel like everyone should know. So I've been working on trying to build up a skincare routine, trying to incorporate new ingredients into my skincare routine to see what works and what doesn't work. So I've always kind of kept my routine simple and kept the ingredients the same. So all the ingredients that I use in my skincare routine routine now. I've been using it for months, so I know it's not irritating or I'm having a reaction to it. I would cleanse my face, then after I've cleansed my face, while my face is still damp, I would apply 3 to 4 drops of niacinamide. Then I would apply moisturizer straight after. I went from having really combination skin, meaning like areas of my skin that's just dry, areas of my skin that's oily, to having normal skin. And it was just weird. It was literally weird because at this point I hadn't really done too much research into it, so I didn't really know that niacinamide regulates your sebum. The only areas that kind of got oily still was obviously my T-zone, mainly just like my nose and really the tip of my nose, and then maybe just a tiny bit on my eyebrows, but everywhere else was completely fine, like completely fine. That was the first week. Cue the second week now. Who sent me to go do DIYs? I went to go do a DIY for you guys. I went to shave my face for you guys, and it was absolutely awful. My skin just did not like it completely. My skin got a rash and broke out. I still have like a little texture there. Like my skin just completely, the texture of my skin just completely just went to shit. Completely went to shit. My skin was irritated, itchy, like just inflamed. So I wanted to make sure that the niacinamide wasn't going to irritate my skin further, so I did start to do more research. This is where I found out that it's a good product to use if you have irritation. So I started to apply the niacinamide, and it really helped with the irritation. I don't feel like it helped so much with the texture of my skin, which is, to me, the texture of my skin has like changed since I did that bloody DIY. Irritation had completely gone, which was like the main thing for me. So I saw the niacinamide in action working its shit. It really helped with like the itching, the sensitivity and the redness, and then the rashes had gone away, and that took about a couple days, I'd say, for the rash and kind of the irritation to kind of calm down. So while I was doing that, I realized I started to get little like spots, but not like spots, like little small spots. And then I just started to break out completely, like on this area, like the usual places that I break out. So like hair is always a problem area for me. I think I got maybe one there or there, and I just didn't know what was happening because I haven't changed anything in my skincare routine apart from the niacinamide. So again, I carried on doing research, and I just found out I was putting way too much niacinamide on. I was using niacinamide in the morning and then in the evening, and I was doing like 4 drops, which is a hell of a lot. Plus the fact that the niacinamide is at 10% and the zinc is at 1%, it was just too much for my skin. My skin just couldn't handle that much niacinamide. So for the last week now, I've reduced the amount of niacinamide I've been using. I only use it once a day, and I do 2 to 3 drops of the niacinamide, and then I pat that into the skin. I let it sit for a minute, and then I go in with my moisturizer, and my skin is coming back to baseline again. And my skin is getting so much better than how it was before. In terms of my complexion, I feel like my complexion is slightly starting to even out now. My acne scars, I don't feel like they're rapidly fading away. They are fading, but I feel like it's everything that I'm doing. I think the niacinamide isn't like a quick fix. I feel like it's an ingredient that you incorporate into your skincare that will result in like long-term results. So the texture of the product is kind of like a serum-y texture. I think the best way to use niacinamide is on wet skin after you've cleansed. Just apply a small amount and then let it sit for a minute. You don't want to apply your moisturizer straight after because you want that product to get into the skin. When you apply your moisturizer straight after, it will dilute that product. I did see some people was having an issue with it turning white when they put it on their face. I've never really had that issue. I mean, sometimes when you do put it on your skin wet and like you're rubbing it, it gets a little bit white, but you just pat it in and it's all fine. So I've not really had that issue. So some things to take note of if you are going to use niacinamide. First of all, everyone's skin is different. So what will work for someone else may not work for you. If you do start out and you realize you're having a reaction or you're getting a rash or something, it's most likely that how you're using the product is the issue and not the product itself. So you might want to reduce how much you're using, maybe use it 2 times a week. My skin is okay to use it every single day as long as I'm only doing 2, maybe 3 drops of niacinamide. Purging is when you have like small spots in the places that you would normally get spots. A reaction is you getting spots like everywhere you've applied a product, or places that you wouldn't really usually get spots, and that's, I think, the best way to tell whether your skin's purging or you're having a reaction to it. I also feel like if you do have a reaction to this product, because it's such a stable and well tolerated product, you're more likely to react to the zinc than the niacinamide. So if you find that you're having issues with this particular niacinamide, maybe try a different brand. And again, because niacinamide isn't an active product, so it's not regulated the same way as other active ingredients, it could just be the quality of the niacinamide. Just make sure that you're not getting a niacinamide with a higher percentage, because higher percentage doesn't necessarily mean better quality. Getting a niacinamide at a higher percentage, like 20%, it's just going to be way too much. Even if you don't have sensitive skin, you might see some type of irritation from it, or it might not work or be effective. So there are some ingredients that you cannot use with niacinamide. I would go straight to the Ordinary website. But this is my skin. I just want you guys to see how my skin is progressing so far. Now that I've incorporated the niacinamide, I have started to use hyaluronic acid now in my skincare, which is also a humectant. Can you guys see there, like hyperpigmentation? And I've got acne scars. Definitely have more over here. This is my problem area right there. And then if you watch my previous video with the Ordinary AHA BHA solution, peeling solution, then you would see that I had this scar in there, and it's fading, but it's still there. I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. Don't forget to check out my other videos on this channel, and yeah, love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.